Yeah, welcome to the Brown Boy Wonder Podcast. Reviews and reactions. Let's go. It's the Brown Boy Wonder. Hold it down, representing for the culture. Every episode brings you closer into the mind and the heart of a hustler, where the truth and the groove collide. Stay tuned in, come enjoy the ride. Keep it authentic like that, never hold back. It's the Brown Boy Wonder Podcast. The Brown Boy Wonder Podcast. Subscribe, share, and stay tuned in. The vibe's always on.
Welcome back to the Brown Boy Wonder Podcast. Guys, the Super Bowl is done. It's history. It's over. I'm glad. I'm not glad that football is done because my Sundays are free now, but I will miss football. But before we get into the Super Bowl here, let me introduce my guest. My first guest, of course, he is the Hall of Famer, the world's own Misbah. Misbah, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, bro. How about you?
I'm doing great, man. And my last guest, of course, he is the Hall of Famer of the universe of course, in New Orleans. It is Tyren. Tyren, how are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing great. Let's talk about Super Bowl 59. It was at New Orleans. It was the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles dropped 40 burgers on KC, but KC kind of tried to come back with 22 points, but your winner is the Eagles. What's your take on this beautiful game here? Anybody?
Yeah, I guess I'll start. So there was a feeling that I had, I don't know if it was just the way the wind was blowing or what, but it didn't feel like Kansas City, it didn't feel like they had the momentum going into the Super Bowl. The Eagles, their defense had been shutting down everybody, especially towards the end of the season and into the playoffs. And it's funny because I wasn't concerned about the Chiefs' O-line. I was worried about, their playmakers getting open. I was worried about Travis Kelce. Would he get separation or would they double team him? Things like that. Would D-Hop be a factor? Would Juju be a factor? Would Xavier Worthy be a factor? But it's funny because, the Eagles, they really focused on their pass rush, especially with Jalen Carter when they drafted him 2 years ago. So it's funny that Mahomes couldn't breathe in the pocket. He was running for his life like he was against Tampa Bay a couple of years ago.
Yes.
And, that's his kryptonite. Mahomes is not good when he has to throw the ball, get rid of the ball quick. Yeah, so his O-line failed him. I wasn't expecting that.
I think because Tom Brady was looking at him, he knows that he's watching him. That's why he fumbled. He choked, I think. But Misbah, what do you think about this beautiful football game of Super Bowl 59?
Thank God, bro. Somebody finally beat this man. Waiting on this for 3 years. 3 damn years. Finally, someone did it. But yeah, overall, it was a pretty dominant all phases. MVP low key should be Howie Roseman for assembling this crazy squad.
Yeah.
They literally have players, like literally like all pro caliber players on almost every position. You name it. The quarterback is probably top 10, maybe top 5. One of the best running backs in the league, which they got from a division rival, no less. They have the best O-line in the league. The D-line is young and getting better. They drafted 2 of the best corners, and then one of them got a pick 6 against Patrick Mahomes of all people. So that team is just really well staffed, and they did a really good job in assembling them and coaching. But overall, what's really fascinating is how, like he mentioned, they were getting pressure on Mahomes. But the crazy part is they did not blitz a single time, yet they were getting pressure like that, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So it just looked like the Chiefs O-line did fumble or played one of their bad or worst games this season. But credit to the Eagles that they were getting pressured without even blitzing. And then Mahomes just looked rattled throughout, just having to get the ball away quick. And then the score just got way out of hand until the end. So it's a pretty dominant victory. And I can see this Eagles team being good for at least a couple more years. So we'll see what happens. Only thing I'm salty about is that Vic Fangio's left Dolphins and now is a Super Bowl champion the year after, which kind of sucks. but it is what it is. I mean, he does have a really good defense to work with now.
That's
So
true.
yeah, overall they were the better team, and for the most part of the season, they've been a really good squad.
They didn't use Saquon at all.
Yeah,
Because throughout the whole playoffs, Saquon was dominating through the rushes, all those touchdowns. His big, thick thighs were going through it, but yeah, they didn't even use him. That surprised me because in my when I was watching in my watch party, my prediction was whoever makes the first touchdown was going to be DeAndre Hopkins, and I was totally wrong. I don't think DeAndre Hopkins was in this game. He was barely noticed. But yeah,
yeah,
he did towards the end.
Yeah.
But the first touchdown was a tush push, with Jalen Hurts. Again, this is, but it helped. It worked. It defeated this crazy team that we all hate. Not all hate. Do we hate the Chiefs? Or do we
more like
hate how
annoyed.
great they are?
I'm just annoyed. It gets annoying when the same team keeps winning for me. Gotta see some different results. And also, it annoyed
I
me
don't think
just.
it was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go ahead.
keep going. Keep going.
No, I was just saying what annoyed me. I think the biggest thing for this season specifically was how the Chiefs were like winning games that they should be winning by a lot, but they were like kind of close, like getting really close to the end and winning by like these one score margins that were really tight. Whether there's a blocked field goal or a mishap punt or a last second overtime win, it was all just really close against teams that they should be blowing out. So for me, I was like, one of these games that someone has to beat them because they just haven't been as dominant, at least offensively on the ball, as they were in years past. So I think that's what kind of annoyed me is that how they kind of managed the way of the Super Bowl. I mean, credit to them for winning those games, but uh, usually in the past, from what I've seen, is teams that win like that usually end up getting blown out sometime in the playoffs. Like if you guys remember the Steelers, I think it was like 2 3 years ago when the Bucks won the Super Bowl. They were like 10-0 or something, but all those 10 wins were like really close, and they had some lucky games, and they ended up falling down and like losing to the Browns in like in destructive fashion in the playoffs. So yeah, overall, I guess that's what happens when you don't put up the amount of points that you should against bad teams.
Do we still have the conversation of Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs being the GOATs? Still or no?
No, about the
I don't
goats.
think they were. I don't think that was ever a conversation.
Yeah, the
Oh
team
well,
is a dynasty itself, I would say. I mean, they've certified that, but in terms of goats, I don't think the best team of all time, not yet. They would still have to win a couple more in terms of team accomplishments, I would say. Maybe to make the Super Bowl another couple of years. But in terms of the GOAT itself, I think that's probably out of debate for a while now because of what happened in the Super Bowl. Another fact to note down is that so Patrick Mahomes is now 3-2 and Brady's 7-3. In the three losses that Brady had, I think he lost by a combined 15 points, and Mahomes lost by 40 in 2 games. And Mahomes has thrown 7 interceptions in 5 Super Bowl appearances, where Brady threw 6 and 10. Something to keep note of. It's not like it's completely over because he could always go back and win a couple more. But as of now, I don't think the conversation is still Brady would be the GOAT, in my opinion, for at least the time being.
I think,
oh.
and this is maybe unpopular, but I still think Joe Montana. I think it goes Tom Brady and then Joe Montana, because Joe Montana never lost in the Super Bowl, nor did he throw a pick.
Mhm.
Ooh.
Yeah,
That's
Mahomes might be
crazy.
number 3. Yeah, at
Uh,
least as of now.
Yeah, as for right now.
you can say that they're
But
both the Patriots, Tom Brady and his team, and Patrick Mahomes and his team. They're kind of similar because they rely on their tight end mostly throughout the years. You got Kelsey with Mahomes and Gronk with um, Tom Brady. I feel like, yeah, if you give it, unless Kelsey, do you guys see Kelsey retiring anytime soon?
There's a chance. He definitely. I think there was a
there's a
rumor saying
chance.
that he
Yeah,
might end it up
he
this year. I think it was more so on the side if they won, so I'm not too sure. but I don't think he has too much time left. I mean, I think maybe 2 years max.
He didn't look,
The same.
yeah, like he didn't seem shifty. He didn't seem, I
Yeah,
don't
to be
know.
fair, this entire season he's been kind of on a downside. He had
This-
a couple games where he had like 100 yards. But for the most part of the
Yeah,
season,
yeah.
he has definitely not been up to like Travis Kelce standards, which makes me
I
think
thought,
Yeah.
that
yeah, I
it
thought
is
that
the
was a
age getting to
plan.
him.
I thought that was a plan of him not playing well in the regular season because I thought they were going to save him for the playoffs in the Super Bowl, but he was still the same.
Yeah, he might. I don't think he has too much time left. Maybe another year or two. Let's see.
Maybe another year. I'll give him one more year.
One more
One
year.
more.
Oh, well, is it time for Taylor Swift to break up with Travis Kelce?
Man, that's on them, man. That'd be kind of messed up though if she did, but that's a them problem.
It'd be
It's
messed
just
up, but then we get a great Taylor Swift album, so it might be a
that is true.
win lose situation here.
That is true. I guess we'll
But
find out.
yes, but let's talk about the biggest, not the biggest thing, but it was the most trending thing that happened there. It was the halftime show, Kendrick Lamar halftime performance. We said in the previous episode that we don't think Kendrick Lamar was a halftime show performer, but I think after this, I think he is.
Apparently, he had the most
What
views of
makes you
all
say that?
time.
I forgot who said who, but I think it's because maybe maybe his songs are not like halftime performing or whatever. Like it's not. I guess we're thinking like pop music or like
Yeah.
for example, the Dr. Dre's his halftime show. They're all popular songs. Maybe Kendrick Lamar was not popular in the sense of everyone knowing him, but I think he nailed the halftime show.
Oh, yeah. 133.5 million views, which is the most in history, passing just slightly, barely passing Michael Jackson from '93. That's pretty wild.
Big, and then there's a lot of symbolism in his performance. Of course, the Drake shout out that was a huge one. Everyone was waiting for that. Not like us, people were waiting for that song. Yeah, what do you guys thought? I thought it was great.
Yeah, not too bad. It was most of the songs that I already expected.
True. I was not expecting.
Yeah.
I was not expecting SZA to come out and sing all the stars from the Black Panther album. That
Oh,
was
yeah.
great.
No, the craziest part I think was the whole part of Serena Williams crip walking. Now that I
Yeah,
definitely don't expect. I was like, what the heck?
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah,
wait,
see
was that
that?
Serena?
Yeah,
that
that
was
part I was like,
When it was live, I was like, that couldn't have been Serena,
yeah.
right?
I was like,
that was
that part surprised me.
she's a mom and she can crip walk. I love it. Love to see it. I've seen a lot on TikTok where everyone was filming their parents or grandparents watching Kendrick Lamar's halftime show. They were like stunned to speak. Some were jamming, I guess. I saw a few dancing or for like bobbing their head, but most of all, they were all
It's
just
funny.
confused. Yeah, they were all just confused. And when I was watching with my parents, I was just looking at them. They were just like, yeah, it's not my thing, I guess. That's the feedback I was getting from them. But no, it's a huge generation gap when it comes to at least rap music or any type of music to older folks. It's not like that. But yeah, Kendrick Lamar, come back. We love to have you. My prediction was Drake. I thought he was gonna come up and hug Kendrick and end the beef. I thought that was gonna happen, but it didn't.
No,
Drake
no
Drake
way.
isn't. Yeah, Drake is in Australia right now.
Oh, wow.
Hopefully he's I don't know what he's doing. Are you guys Drake or Kendrick Lamar? What side are you guys on? Drake or Kendrick?
Kendrick.
On the winner side, so yeah, gotta go Kendrick.
I mean, I was a Drake guy way back, but now I'm like, if these allegations are true, then I don't know, but we'll see. The other thing that happened past week, it's been a week now, um, but I do need everyone's take on this. It's a big moment in Dallas history. It is probably, to me, the worst trade of all mankind.
Oh my God.
The people in Dallas were stunned to speak. There were TikTok videos of people stopping weddings to stop the wedding for this announcement. I'm talking about the Luca and AD trade. What do you guys thought about this trade?
Man, that's like one of those trades you like, where were you when this happened?
Yeah, it's like when
Mhm.
Kobe died. Where were you?
What the hell? When I saw that, I literally thought it was fake. I was like, did Shams get hacked? Like, what's going on? I double check, triple check. And man, it's still kind of crazy to wrap my head around it after all the time. But there are some theories that have been popping up. One of the biggest ones that I've been hearing, probably the one I believe the most, it has to do with these new owners that the are the Dallas Mavericks after Mark Cuban sold majority ownership. And part of it
Hmm.
was that they are really interested in legalizing gambling, I believe, in Texas, which is why they kind of want to either, I think they want to move the team to Vegas or something like that, and because they're really big into that type of stuff. And part of that was kind of lowering the market so that the people it'd be easier to move the team, I think. So either they legalize gambling in Texas, which isn't, I think it's kind of hard to do because of like state laws and stuff. But if they're able to
Yeah.
move it to Vegas, it'd be easier for them to cash in on that. And part of that would be to kind of lower the market value of the Dallas Mavericks so that it'd be easier for them to transition into that new city. Because if they're already really good, especially coming off a finals appearance, that it wouldn't be that easy for them to move that team because they would have such a strong fan base in Dallas. So by giving away Luca, your best player, it kind of drastically lower the market value, and then makes that move maybe easier. That is a pretty big take, so I don't know exactly how much goes into it, but that is one thing that I've heard. But
I
it
hope
is
that's
just
right.
wild that you trade a 25-year-old, your star player, in the middle of the season. Um, uh, Anthony Davis himself is not a bad player. I think
No.
him and Kyrie could still definitely be enough to get you into the playoffs, but you still trade a player that's generational. And then AD got hurt obviously in his first game, so that doesn't really help that case either.
No.
Um,
You
uh,
you
but
traded someone who led you to the finals of last year. Like
it's
that doesn't make
insane.
sense.
Um, uh, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, uh, also on the Lakers side, I feel like I don't know how I feel about it too much either because although it's on paper it sounds really good, but Luka and LeBron are kind of similar playing styles. And then that trade, they also tried to trade for Mark Williams in the Hornets for the big man, and it failed because of some failed physical. So
Yes.
they don't really have like a big man. They just signed Alex Len, but still, I don't feel like they don't really have a
He's
good
not a rim
center.
protector, I don't believe.
Yeah. So just Luka and LeBron. I mean, we'll see. They are two. I mean, I feel like LeBron might hand the keys down to Luka to take over, and I feel like Luka will do well. But without an actual center, I don't know how far the Lakers will go. I feel like it might be just a lose-lose trade at this point. So we'll see. I don't know. At the end of the day, would still say though that if you had the opportunity to trade for Luca, you'd do it regardless of what's going on, just because of the
Oh,
generational
true.
talent, and
1,000%.
especially for the years to come, because LeBron might retire soon, and then they need to go the different direction later on. So it'll be, I guess, it's good for them to have Luca for the foreseeable future, so that they can do that. But wow, what a trade! It's still crazy to think about it.
I'm still not. I can't wrap my head around getting Anthony Davis, getting Max Christie, and one first round pick.
Yeah.
Luca is worth. Okay, the Knicks when they got Mikal Bridges, they traded away 5 first round picks.
To be
Is
honest, that was a
Luca not
crazy
worth?
fleece,
It's
but still,
crazy.
Yeah.
yeah.
So how in the world is how are you getting one first round pick for Luca? Even though I know you get Anthony Davis, but you should be getting at least 3.
Mhm.
So them not getting draft capital for that trade stunned me even more so.
It's like a spit in the face to the Mavericks fans. There were people protesting outside of a American Airlines Center for a
There
few
was a
days.
funeral too.
There was a funeral.
Mhm.
Yeah, I saw the
Mhm.
casket. Man, I remember the next day after when that dropped. That was Sunday night, midnight, I
It was
believe.
Saturday night. Saturday night.
Oh,
Last
Saturday night,
Saturday.
yeah. I believe that. Yeah, the next day, everyone was just pissed. Um, yeah, I would say like, oh, I'm a Jets fan. You guys should be used to it. You guys should get used to it. I'm like, no, man. This is like it just doesn't make sense. I would like say, oh, being a Jets fan is worse than this, but no, this is the worst thing ever. Um,
Mhm.
like I
Oh.
just don't get it. Do you think LeBron has some influence into this trade?
Nope.
Like, did he say something to what's his face?
No one knew about this trade
Oh, okay.
except
It's hard to
the two
say for
GMs.
sure, but yeah, as of what they've been saying is that no one really knew about the trade until it happened. As if he had any influence, who knows? But from what they're saying is that no one knew. So
That reminds me
yeah,
of Woody Johnson. He fired Robert Saleh without telling anyone. It kind of reminds me of that.
Wait, but everyone saw that coming though.
Yeah, but not like early in the season. Give us some
The way that
chance.
the Jets looked, no one would have been surprised if Salah was fired.
Uh,
But this was like we had to double check to see if Shams' account was hacked. Like it just
yes.
didn't. It didn't sound right.
What's a good equivalent for those who are listening for the first time and don't know about sports? How do you guys relate this trade to another thing? Like, what's equivalent to
Like
this?
like
I
in the
just
NFL,
yeah. Like, what's another?
I would
For
say
example, yeah. Go
I would say trading Joe Burrow for Dak Prescott
ahead.
and maybe a third or a fourth or like something ridiculous.
Oh, it's like that, and then it's like you're trading away. No, the trade is between Shaquille O'Neal when he was in the Boston Celtics for who was hot in 2008.
Wait, there's no that wouldn't work because O'Neal. You got to trade like someone who's like top five in their position,
Oh,
and
true.
then you have
yeah,
to throw
let's
something
not
in the
act like
mix.
AD is 2008 Shaq now. Let's not act like that.
Yeah,
AD
like
is
That's
still
true.
a
That's
top
true.
no.
10.
That's true.
I
That's true.
still think
That's
he's
true.
a top 10 player in the world, but he's not.
It's
I
like,
wouldn't say he's generational like Luke, obviously.
it's like trading away Duncan for Kobe.
No,
Maybe depending
They're-
depending on the
no,
time period,
those
maybe.
two are both generational.
That's true.
But
Who's
maybe at
not?
the
I
end
could
of
say like
Duncan's career, I don't know.
maybe you can trade Kobe for. Let me see who was good.
It's like you're
Dwayne
trading
Wade.
away. Yeah, you're trading away Kobe right before he wins the championship. Like the year when he win the first
Young Kobe,
championship.
right? Like
Yeah,
in the
young
Yeah,
Kobe
'90s, late
in the
young
'90s.
'90s.
Kobe.
Yeah, you're trading him away for
You
Patrick
still have to
Ewing.
trade someone good. Who?
Patrick Ewing?
No,
No,
Patrick Ewing is way too old.
he's old.
Mhm.
I'm trying to think of who was good in the late '90s. Who was good? Like slightly
Charles Barkley,
older.
maybe. Charles Barkley,
Who?
Charles, yeah,
No,
Charles.
no, he was too old.
too old.
Who was good
I don't even know.
in the night? Who was good in '96? There was Kobe and
It's Jordan, obviously. That's
Let me see.
Jordan.
All Star,
Clyde
NBA
Drexler.
All Star, and I'm gonna say '98, right?
Yeah, when
Okay,
Kobe showed up.
so okay, so that's perfect. Okay, so you could trade Kobe for Karl Malone
Karl Malone.
in the first, because Karl Malone was still good. That'd be the
Mhm.
equivalent of that. Like that
Okay.
that it just doesn't make sense.
Oh man.
Or like Kobe for yeah, that's like the equivalent. Kobe for
Or
a
Utah
Karl
Jazz.
Malone.
Utah Jazz. Karl
Yeah,
Malone.
Utah Jazz Karl Malone.
Oh man. That is pretty much that.
Didn't they end up
Um.
teaming up at one point? The last year of Malone? Wait, no. Last year
He
Malone
was
was in
on
the
the
Lakers, right?
Lakers.
Was Kobe
Yeah,
on that
that
team by then?
2002 when they were
So
trying to go
Kobe
for the
wasn't.
three-peat.
Oh, okay, so he was on that team.
Yeah,
I
that
guess
when
their
they had
team
Gary
was
Payton and
so they had a
they tried to make
1 year
the
team.
super team.
And that never works out, I guess, nowadays.
No.
Well, in those days, I guess it didn't work out. Well, another thing to
Yeah,
keep in mind also is that I think Luca with the Mavericks was eligible for a supermax extension, which is now
he
voided because
was, and
he
that
with the
Yes.
Lakers.
sucks.
So that
It
might
sucks.
be a factor as well.
Now that's a
Oh.
win-win for the Lakers because they don't have to
Yeah,
pay him all
exactly.
that money.
And we
Mm-hmm.
But it
we also
sucks for him.
we also mentioned that Luca bought his house where people were robbing his place.
Uh,
He just bought that house.
yeah.
No, he bought another one.
You want another one? Okay.
He bought it. No, this house is it's a mansion, $15 million mansion.
Yeah, it's a big one.
They said he just closed on it too.
Oh. What a big headache. I don't know. If I was that good, do not want to be an NBA player.
Mhm.
Um. All right, that was the biggest trade of all time there. The debuts, if you want to mention here, Luca, his debut made 14 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists in 23 minutes. While AD, Anthony Davis, made 26 points, 16 rebounds, 7 assists, and 3 blocks in 31 minutes. So who had the better debut there? And the AD there.
AD.
Definitely,
Yeah,
he had a better one, but he got injured, so
he did. It
that
was a
kind of
non-contact
sucks.
injury.
I think he's out for at least a month now.
I was reading he's out indefinitely because
Oh,
it's
really?
like what is it, like an abductor?
Yeah,
Oh,
adductor injury.
Which
Yeah, so like a groin type thing. So I think he's out for maybe a month or so, and then reevaluated. Shouldn't be too bad, but out for a couple weeks, and then we'll see.
if you saw
Yeah,
you
it's tough.
guys saw Jason Kidd in the press conference when the news broke out, he was sad.
Yeah,
He was
and
sad.
and
then
what can
I
what can
think
you
Daniel
do?
Gafford got hurt too. So they're really
Yeah, he has a
They're
knee
a bunch of
sprain,
injuries. Yeah, PJ Washington I think is already hurt somewhat.
and Lively's hurt.
Lively's hurt. Yeah, they got a bunch of injuries to deal with.
well, someone who's happy, it's Dirk Nowitzki. He was at the Lakers game with Luca's debut. That is that's his brother in real life, or half brother. But that was the big trade. But we have a All Star coming up here this weekend. Let's get into this thing here. The Skills Challenge has Team Cavaliers of Mitchell and Mobley, Team Rockets of who is that? That's Alex Shar and
Oh, that guy.
that guy. There we go. And Team Spurs, Chris Paul, and of course Victor Wimby. No, 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 no. I forgot. It's like Antetokounmpo. I can't say these names. And also the last team is, of course, is Jeremiah Green and not Steph Curry, but Moody. Who do you think is going to win this skills challenge here?
I kind of like the Spurs, to be honest.
I like Team Cavs, but I can see the Spurs winning this also.
Yeah, I think Chris Paul and I feel Wemby are two of the most skilled players in the league.
See.
I use Chris Paul in his prime, so we'll see.
We'll see there.
Yeah, those are probably my bet.
And then for the 3-point contest, we got my dude, my big body Brunson, Jalen Brunson, Cade Cunningham, Darius Garland, Tyler Hero, Buddy Hield, Cameron Johnson, Damian Lillard, and Norman Powell. Who we got here?
Dame.
Honestly, none of these
Dame.
guys are like really big 3-point shooters, but probably Dame. Yeah, I would say probably the
Dame.
biggest name out of all of them. I could say Brunson too.
Brunson can make his threes. I don't know
Mhm.
about the other. I know Ola Garland. I thought he was more of a layup guy.
Yeah,
He makes
Garland.
threes.
None
He
of
can
these
shoot
guys are like
also.
crazy threes. I think Buddy Hield is pretty decent at just shooting.
He's just inconsistent.
Yeah, but maybe in a 3-point contest he might do good. We'll see.
What
Probably
would be
good
the
one.
highest number?
I don't know how the format nowadays is
They
like.
changed the
They keep
scoring
changing
because
it. Yeah,
it's like a whole. You have
they
a
keep
rack of money
changing it every
balls.
year.
Yeah,
Yeah, right. And you have
so
the Mountain Dew balls that are like worth 4 now or
oh, the
something.
4-pointers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, the 4-pointers. So it's like I don't even know what the score is now.
I'm predicting 32.
30 something. Yeah, 30.
All
I think it's
right.
like 40 now.
They can
Yeah, I know.
if they make all of them.
I think so.
And
Yeah.
then the least exciting. Well, we never know. It might be exciting. Is the slam dunk participants here? We got Montas Bulias from the Bulls. We got Stefan Castle from the Spurs. We got Andre Jackson Jr. from the Bucks, and we got the defending champion, Mac McClunk. Who do we have here?
I'm going with the 2-time defending champ because I don't see those other 3 guys doing anything impressive. To be honest,
Yeah,
Uh,
McClung is hard to beat. I'm going for the 3-peat. Maybe
Repeat.
Bozelis has a chance at maybe. But McClung's probably definitely the favorite.
It says here, the Bulls guy made 20 dunks. Stefan Castle made 20 dunks, and then Andrew Jackson made 11 dunks in the season. We need to change this format. We need to, because remember, it was exciting a long time ago, especially with Gordon and Levine.
Yeah. I think the last time it was exciting.
Yeah, like so far it's not been exciting. I was thinking we should pay money to LeBron or John Morant to do the slam dunk contest if we gave him money, but I don't know. Hopefully this will be exciting.
John Morant would be fun, but he doesn't want to do it, I think. That's the problem. Yeah, John Morant would be fun to watch.
Imagine it'd be a comedic slam dunk. Like he goes for it and he brings out his gun and then slam dunks it on it. That'd be great.
I don't know about all that. That's kind of thin water out there.
Yeah, you might get flagged for that.
Yeah, I would have done that.
All right. Well, that was the slam dunk participants and All Star there. Guys, that was it for this episode. Oh, quick thoughts. Aaron Rodgers might leave Jets. Do we care or do not care?
not might. He is
Yeah,
leaving.
He
yeah,
is?
no,
Okay.
he's out. He's out for the
They
Jets.
will not be bringing him
And
back.
MGN is not wanting him back.
Okay. I heard it was a
Either
possibility.
retirement or a different
Vikings.
Oh
team.
no, they said he would not be returning next season.
Yeah, no, he's done. Now, as for if he's retiring, we don't know that part. That could be. He could retire. I could see him retiring too.
Unless
I
he
don't see him going to another team. I don't know who.
I don't know. People are saying Pittsburgh, Minnesota was in one name. Pittsburgh was
I think
another. But I
Minnesota
don't
goes
know.
with. I think they go with the rookie or the guy they
Yeah,
drafted.
I feel like Minnesota, but it's so weird with him being a Packers player for so long.
Oh,
That's
true.
the
That's
Brett
right.
Favre path,
Prophecy.
right?
Yeah.
That is true. That's true too.
Packers, Jets, Vikings.
Yeah.
But you don't. I don't think he wants to be Brett Favre at the moment. He kind of stealing money from kids at charity, so I don't think he wants to be that.
It's crazy.
Even though Aaron Rodgers is his own like enigma, but I don't think he would do that. I guess
With
also
the
Devontae
Saints
Adams.
win. Yeah,
But they need something. Also,
Devontae
Devontae
Adams
Adams.
probably gonna head out. Yeah, I think he's heading out too.
He'll be with
So
him.
nice.
Or he can stay
man.
at home. Eat
Yeah.
Taco Bell.
With the head coaching, looks like it's all filled up with Kellen Moore taking the last spot with the Saints. So
Oh,
that's
is that true? I thought he's still sticking with
No, I think he just signed today officially.
Yes, he
Oh, okay.
did.
So that hopefully the Saints do better now. We'll see.
And
I don't know if Derek Carr's still under contract, right?
sadly,
So not too much you can do with that. We'll see. He's probably
we
better than
we need
Dennis
to get
Allen.
we need to get rid of him, and we need to get younger. We need to pull an Eagles and get younger with our defense, especially our D
Yeah.
line,
We'll see.
especially our D line.
Ellen Moore, new head coach head
Mm-hmm.
coach. It's crazy how the Eagles every year they seem like they have a new offensive coordinator.
That's true.
Always somebody new.
Every year. I just saw this article, Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn says, do not be in the Pat McAfee show every Wednesday. If you're still doing that, I guess you would be cut. And I guess you guys are right. He is cut. I think he still wants to be on the Pat McAfee show.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I guess he's not really cut if you're a free agent, but yeah.
Oh, true.
Don't
Not resigned.
Yeah, not resigned. Yeah, they're not resigning him. I wonder what the Jets get in this case. I mean, they don't really have a quarterback then.
Maybe we don't need a quarterback.
No. I think you very much do. I think you very much do.
You absolutely need a quarterback.
You
I don't
must-
think we need one. I'm fine.
Honestly, I feel like any championship team, no matter who they are, at worst you have to have like a mid-tier quarterback with like an elite defense at worst.
And a
Because if you
good
can't
running
have
back.
someone who does like, you've got to get first down somehow. You can't run the ball every single play, so you have to have something at a quarterback position. Especially nowadays, I feel like the passing games evolved so much, where they rely on it a lot more than they used to. Gotta have
Yeah.
Well, the past handful of champions, so obviously the Chiefs and the Rams, they had great defenses.
Mm.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers, great defenses. So you have to have a great defense.
Yeah.
We probably might draft a rookie or
There's maybe a couple names out there. Russell
I
Wilson
think
is a
y'all
good
should sign
name.
Justin Fields, who y'all should have drafted.
Justin
Yeah.
Fields is a name. Sam Darnold, Justin Fields is a name. Russell Wilson. There's probably a
I'm
couple more.
interested to see where Sam Darnold goes
Yeah, that's gonna be a big one
because
too.
he's gonna break the bank, and I think he's gonna be overpaid.
Sam Darnold. T. Higgins is going to be a free agent. It'll be interesting to see where he goes. Myles Garrett's going to get traded too. More, or at least he wants to get traded.
Why?
Yeah,
You just don't like to be a Brown?
No, I don't think anyone wants to be there anymore.
That's true.
So, yeah,
Especially
he's gonna-
Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, I think his career might be over, especially with the back-to-back Achilles. That's tough. He
Yeah.
tore it again, so he might be out for like another year or two.
That
At least
and
a year. So.
also the one is talking about. Speaking of Deshaun Watson, there's a guy, Justin Tucker. He's been in some hot waters, just like Deshaun Watson. People are calling him Justin Tucker. So like Tucker, horrible,
Oh gosh,
terrible.
You know, he was off this season, so you never know. I was like, what's going on with this guy?
He just ruined his legacy. He was one of the greatest kickers of all time.
He was the best kicker in this season. He seemed mediocre. I was like, it's not very Justin Tucker like.
And he's also an opera singer too. So maybe he might pursue that career path.
Man, who knows?
I guess we call Adam Vinatieri the best now instead of Justin.
Mm-hmm. Maybe
not Butker because he's sexist. He told women to go to the kitchen, and that's bad. So there's a lot of.
Is that what he said word for word?
Yeah, he said women. Something about women.
He did not say that word for word.
I do not think he said that word for word.
No, he did not.
I have to check. I remember him saying
he did not say go to the kitchen.
No, yeah, I don't think it was like that. I believe he was telling, like, I think it was wrong place, wrong time type of stuff where he's telling college graduates.
Yeah, he said being a mother and a wife is the highest honor, or what a woman should strive to be. It was something along those lines. But he did not say go to the kitchen.
To say that at a college graduation, people are trying to get careers. So definitely, I don't agree with that part where he said it there, but or at least saying it at that point.
If he would have said go to the kitchen, I don't think he'd be on the Chiefs.
Yeah, I don't think Taylor Swift would let that pass. Code of the Kitchen is crazy. That is a wild statement.
He said
Everyone would
something
have heard that.
That is a wild statement.
He said a lot of things actually. Well, I thought he said something along those lines. Might be wrong.
I mean, he
But
kind of
that's,
did, but
yeah.
I definitely didn't. I don't think he said Code of the Kitchen. At
Definitely
least,
said
at
that.
least not that verbiage.
We'd all remember that.
Yeah, I feel like that would. I feel like
That'd
he
be
might not have a
terrible.
job. Yep.
Oh. Well, Andy Reid is sad. Chiefs are sad. Are they going to come back and we might have a repeat, a trilogy, Eagles, Chiefs for the next Super Bowl?
I mean, it's definitely a
Not if they don't
possibility.
get their O line together, no.
Yeah, but Chiefs are inevitable. I feel like with Andy Reid, anything is possible. They'll probably revamp. And no one in the AFC seems to be able to beat them, which really is annoying. Somebody's got to win eventually.
I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was just their O line was just that bad or the
Could
front
be. I mean, the O
four.
line was even worse against the Buccaneers, and they made the Super Bowl the next 3 years in a row after,
Yeah.
or a year after that, I guess, in 2 years. So
I
we'll
don't know
see.
if it was just the Eagles defense. I don't know.
I
Yeah.
know what
They
happened.
played what?
Patrick Mahomes choked because he was still stunned about Luca's trade.
Oh,
Oh yeah, he was not happy
yeah,
about that.
Yeah,
yeah,
he said what on Twitter. So that
yeah.
kind of stopped his whole mojo.
Could be. It's
What
also the
were you
NFL's
saying, Tyron?
unique curse, I guess. Who knows it'll ever happen? I feel like that's a curse. No matter how hard they try, the best teams can't even win 3 in a row in the NFL. Just too hard, man. I think the
I know.
Eagles kind of ruined 2 3 peats in a way, where this one was like head on the third in a row, and technically they kind of ruined the Patriots in a way of a 3 peat because the Patriots made 3 straight Super Bowls. They won one against the Falcons, then they lost against the Eagles, then they won against the Rams. So they made it 3 straight times. They just lost the one in the middle. Technically, they could have had a 3 peat there too. The Eagles
That's
didn't win in that middle one.
that's true.
So yeah, could have said.
Yeah, well, that was for this episode here. We will come back with our, of course, daily, weekly of sports news episodes when the NBA playoffs are start happening. We'll get back into that. Until then, Misbah, where can they find you, man?
They can find me on IG and Misbah G6.
Fantastic. And Tyron, how about you?
Y'all can find me at the Tyrenol on Instagram.
Fantastic. And of course, you can follow this podcast on Spotify, where you're listening to now, and Apple Podcasts. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Blue Sky. Follow me there at Brown Boy Wonder. I believe Twitter is at BB Wonders Podcast. Not what you're thinking. You can follow me there. Other than that, see you guys then.